sugar-coated doll is not so pure, my bad. I don't give a. You're stepping on me and they call my mama, touch you better than that. You're mad, I guess you're mad. Wore my best pajama for this drama. Why you talking like that, like that, like that? I'm not gonna spend the night, I'm talking. You got bad things on your mind, keep walking. Spit your words on someone else. Don't act like you're so obsessed with me, with me. You know that I ain't coming back, I'm sorry. Read my lips, you do not like that. You're drowning without me. Take it all back, but if you want my sympathy, honey, well, come as a bitch, get ready for this. Tries my best, confess. You hate me wearing the pants. If you weren't so damn obsessed with making me your perfect lie. Makeup is out, naturals in, letting my skin glow out. You're taking shit if you don't like this. You still live in your man's world. I'm not gonna spend the night, I'm talking. You got bad things on your mind, keep walking. Spit your words on someone else. Don't act like you're so obsessed with me, with me. You know that I ain't coming back, I'm sorry. Read my lips, you do not like that. You're drowning without me. Take it all back, but if you want my sympathy, honey, well, come as a bitch, get ready for this.
Get ready for this.
You know that I ain't coming back, I'm sorry. Read my lips, you do not like that. You're drowning without me. Take it all back, but if you want my sympathy, honey, well, come as a bitch, get ready for this.
Get ready for this.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Carlotta. Good morning, Last Nerve. Good morning, Patty. Good morning, Annalyn. Good morning, Nick. Oh, see, I'm roller coasters give me such anxiety, and I'll tell you what, just watching that makes my stomach go up and down. Hello, Foodie Bidet. Good morning. Is that Natter dancing? Yeah. Good morning, Glam. How is everybody, guys? I'm so sorry I was absent last week. I had some chronic illness crap going on, and it kind of sent me into a depression. You love roller coasters? I think you either love them or you hate them. I'm afraid of heights. And every time I go on one, like if we go to an amusement park, it really kicks in my anxiety, and then the whole day is ruined if I go on one. Does he? I haven't watched him at all, Glam. Oh, thank you, Patty. You see eggs? Okay, yeah, sorry. Thank you, Annalyn, for... So in the corner over here on the left side, guys, we have Nick's Stream Talking Life. We have... When did you start doing this, Nick? Friday? I think Friday, maybe Saturday. But anyways, she's got eggs in the incubator. There were quail eggs and chicken eggs. There's 2 quail eggs left, but we're not sure. We don't think they're viable. But 2 of the chicken eggs hatched early this morning, and mine is that green one up in the right corner with the white, speck on it, and he's been trying to come out since last night. So I'm really hoping that he's okay. I have an illness too. Someone sneezed at the airport. I'm cursing him. I'm down to 7 meals a day now. Struggle is real, y'all. Trick for me is just getting past the first hill. It's that drop. Like my stomach just like plummets when that first drop happens, and then my anxiety is just spiraling. Bella, good morning, Bella. Sometimes, do you guys ever forget like what stream you said said hello to somebody in? Because I hang out in all the same streams, so sometimes I'm like, did I say hello in here, or was that so and so's stream? Hide the eggs from Amberlyn Reed. You love the drop. See, I think, like I said, Glam, I think there's roller coaster people, and then there's people like me. But you know what? I like the rides nobody likes. I like the spinny rides, like the Whip It and the Scrambler, the Tilt-A-Whirl. I like those types of rides that everybody hates because they make them sick. Good morning, Six. I was traumatized at Disney. I'm done with roller coasters for 5 years. Does it do something to you if you see a picture of Mickey Mouse on a lid? Did you develop PTSD from the roller coaster? What was it about the roller coaster that did it for you? See, I miss just chatting like this, guys. That's what I miss when I'm gone. Nick, if something starts happening, I have your stream muted. So if something starts happening, let me know in chat so that I can unmute you. I'm waiting for my little guy to come. Yeah, but the teacup ride, isn't it kind of like a tilt-a-whirl? Like, don't the teacups spin as the thing is going around? That is my kind of ride. I love that stuff. Yeah, honestly, Glam, I have not gone on any rides in probably a good 3-4 years. So it may make me dizzy now. You know how dizzy I am on a regular basis. Judy, you want to talk about trauma? Try getting into a tuk-tuk. Oh, Bella, that's so awesome. I've never been to Knott's, actually. Exactly, Carlotta. It's the ride itself. I feel so sick after the ride. I used to love it, but I'm 40 now and I love chill things now. I get Jonalyn. The teacups are fun, but I haven't been on them in 10 years. Like when you go to like fairs, the big strawberry ride. Oh, where were we? When we went to that Native American festival a few weeks back, they had taken one of like the I don't know that it was a strawberry. I think it was an apple. But anyway, it was cool because they took one of the like apples or strawberries. It might have been a strawberry and they painted it. But anyways, they took one of those cars from like one of those old fair rides where they spin like that, and they used it as like a food truck. And they were selling, I don't know, something. It was apple, so they were selling like, apple cider or something. Apple. Good morning, Brandy. Oh, I'm so happy to see you, Brandy. I hope you're doing okay today. Have you seen Are You Serious Tuk Tuk? It's I haven't. Wait until you are my age. Does that say 53 or 63? See, my age. I can't freaking see. And you will just sit on the bench and wait. Yeah, that's what I do now, Patty. Exactly. Like when we went to Disney, the kids went on the rides and stuff, and me and Ziggy would go to like a cafe or something and just sit. Is it like a drive-in horror attraction or something? It sounds like there's food in there too. The music video from Are You Serious? You guys, I was going to cover her this morning, and literally I was gone most of last week, um we just had the weekend and the trip. I felt like there was nothing to cover. First of all, because I don't record her anymore, so I don't have her rage stream to react to. And of course her community posts are down. I did save her community posts, so I think on my other computer. But I was just like, you know what? I can't do it. It just bores me anymore. It's Knott's Berry Farm, so an amusement park, but they do a Halloween thing for all or most of October. I do that when Sala walks on the beach. That poor lonely chick is saying, where is everybody? This one that's showing has like a mask on its face. It's sweet. Just prepping for an endoscopy and colonoscopy here in a few hours, so just sleepy. I'm glad you're here too, Brandy. I hope everything goes good today. It's happier. The other one was bugging. Yeah. So did she? There's there's the chirping. I had my phone on. So did she remove the bully? Did she remove Biggin? I know, his little fuzz butt. It's so cute because it has like a mask on it. That one I would say is probably the most distinctive one that we've gotten. Come on, buddy. Nick, is that another one coming? She has chickens. She's got a ton of chickens, Annalyn. I don't think so. It's there again. I should unmute because I can't tell. Sorry, y'all. It's going to have me distracted on and off just because I'm waiting for that one to come. Okay. All right. We are going to start with the Franke case because Mama Mate is a new one that we are going to cover. And her videos are fairly short, and there's really only about 5 or 6 videos that she has out now that we're going to be interested in. So I figure if we can catch up on those videos, that gets us current, so then we can, cover updates and stuff. But all of her, I think the longest one is 39 minutes, and then the longest one after that is like 20 minutes, and then the rest are like under 10. So we can probably get through most of them today or all of them today. Okay, so Ruby Franke, we did cover this a little bit when it first happened. She is a big YouTuber. She has had a family vlog channel that was called 8 Passengers. Her and her husband have 6 kids, and she was kind of controversial on YouTube, on the internet in general, because of her discipline tactics. So it ended up finally, they were at her partner's house, her business partner's house, and the 12-year-old escaped, went to a neighbor, and the neighbor called 911. And they ended up removing all the kids from the house. 2 of them they had to take to the hospital because they were so malnourished. Good morning, Shauna. Good morning, Lisa. And so she and her business partner are both in jail because they were at the business partner's house when the boy escaped. So the business partner, is involved as well. So both were arrested. So this one is Ruby Franke's husband, Kevin, won't point fingers following child abuse charges, says lawyer. The estranged husband of Ruby Franke, the Utah YouTuber arrested for child abuse, refuses to sling mud and point fingers following accusations that he could have saved his children. Kevin Franke and Ruby Franke are the parents of 6 children who were featured on their mom's former YouTube channel, 8 Passengers. Since 2015, the account, followed by millions, was controversial for Ruby's uncompromising punishments. It has since been taken down. The Utah mom shared on her channel that her punishments included denying her children food and personal space, forcing them to do push-ups and skip school to clean the floor when they misbehaved. She once withheld Christmas presents from her 2 youngest children and took away her eldest son's bed for 7 months, actions she freely shared on her own video channel. In August, Ruby was arrested and charged with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse. Her business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, a mental health counselor who recorded parenting videos alongside Ruby, was also arrested and charged. Last week, Ruby's sisters, Julie Griffiths, Daru, and Bonnie Holin posted YouTube videos stating they were unaware of their sister's behavior because she had cut contact with her family. See, that is different than what I have seen. I saw I think it was the first sister's video, and she didn't say that she had cut contact. She had just said that they had brought up issues or whatever and were unheard. And I think that they may have even called like child services as well. And nothing had come of it. Holian also claimed that Kevin was the responsible party for protecting his family. It was Kevin's job to check in on things, and he did not, she said in her video. Ruby and Kevin Franke separated. Kevin's attorney tells Today.com that Kevin and Ruby had been separated at Ruby's directive for approximately 13 months. Kevin did not want to be separated, says Kester. He wanted to work through concerns as a family. There was never any formal written decree of separate maintenance or separation agreement. The separation was under terms proscribed by Ruby and Jody Hildebrandt. Kester addressed Holian's claims about Kevin. I think she admits that she, too, was out of the loop and had not yet had any contact with the children herself. However, Kevin is more interested in reaching out to his children, family, and friends to heal the past trauma and events. Kester tells Today.com Kevin is making an effort to rebuild and bridge these relationships rather than sling mud and point fingers. He is focused on doing what is best for his kids at this point, even if that means undergoing some introspection. None of that process, however, is going to be creating more distance between him and his family, including his extended family. He wishes Bonnie and her family well as we all travel down this path of healing. In previous footage published by 8 Passengers, Kevin appears to support the decision to send their son, then 14, to the Anasazi Foundation Wilderness Therapy Program, an outdoor behavioral health care program for youth who struggle with defiance and other behavioral problems. What many of you are criticizing or calling abusive are actually things that mental health professionals have counseled us to do. So they counseled them to send their child to one of those wilderness camps. Kevin tried to sue the oldest daughter because she went to the house to get the kids' stuff. Get the kids' stuff like after they took the kids. Kevin is just as much. I think so too. I can't watch any family channels. Too many of them turned out to be wannabe celebrities with lots of skeletons, not support. I know, Six. It's sad because there are a couple channels that like I really like. Is that the one, Nick? Is that the same one? Did I miss something? That one's light, really light. Is that the second one still? I forget what I was saying. They were separated because Jody told Ruby to have him leave. The oldest son, I think, was living with Kevin, and the rest of the kids were in Ruby's care, minus the oldest daughter who was away at university. I think there's already abuse, and even before they got separated. Yeah, there's no way he did not know. And if he didn't know, shame on him, because I think he hadn't seen the kids in months. And why not? Like, you have 6 children and you just, drop any contact? Like, Jody was, she was the mental health. Isn't that ironic? He is the one that left the relationship with the kids get to that point. He let a therapist tell him to leave his home and his kids. It's a new one? Or the second one. He's really light. He's lighter than we thought, I think. That little bugger, though, he just gets on his back and he can't get off of it. The police broke the door down to look for the kids, and Sherry went to get stuff for the kids. Kevin blamed Sherry for breaking the door down and stealing things. He tried to get her arrested for taking his electronics. Definitely, they are awful. I think people who grew up in Utah as LDS say this is really common. Oh, that's still the second one. Boy, he's light. He still has me worried, though. This one, so the one that I'm waiting on, you guys, see the little quail egg that's hatched open on the right-hand side, right above that? There's a green egg with like a white chip on it. That's the one I've been waiting on. He's flashing us his belly. Look at his little baby foot going. Aww. That one has a nick in it too. Dang, they're all coming at once. Good morning, Ghostface. Good morning, cats. Okay. Last month, the Santa Clara Ivans Public Safety Department announced in a press release that 2 minor children were found emaciated and malnourished with open wounds and duct tape around the extremities. One child was asking for food and water and was hospitalized in severe condition. Police said they found a second child in a similar physical condition of malnourishment in another home who was also hospitalized. 4 other children were taken in by the Department of Child and Family Services. Ruby was arrested in connection with the children's treatment along with her business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, a mental health counselor who recorded parenting videos alongside Ruby for the former YouTube channel Connections. Each woman was charged with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse. I bet that woman, Jody Hildebrandt, I bet she never even thought for a second that she would get in trouble. Kester recently told Law and Crime, a multimedia network, that the dad was absolutely shocked by the child abuse allegations. He said that Kevin had not recently seen his children at all, as Ruby wanted to separate while they worked on their marriage. Kester told the outlet that Ruby assured Kevin that their children were happy in his absence. According to Kester, Kevin never had any reason to believe that his children were being abused. He said in that interview, if we had even one inkling that his kids were being abused and that this separation wasn't for any other purpose than to figure out a way between he and Ruby to reunite their family, he would have been down there in 2 seconds. Physical abuse had never been a part of their family. I don't know. Again, where has he been? He hasn't seen his kids in months. So he may not, giving him the benefit of the doubt, he may not have known that the abuse was happening. I personally think that it didn't just get that bad after he left. I'm sure some of that was going on while he was there. So why would he disappear for months and not check on his kids, not visit his kids, call them, whatever? We had a bantam chicken. We had to give it to the neighbors because the little shits like to pick fights with the bigger roosters. Napoleon complex. Yeah, that's what was happening already with the babies, like Annalyn. That second one, the first one that came out was a bruiser and was like just racking him. And then with the quail eggs, Carlotta, of course, it was Carlotta's quail, was bullying all the others. I've been following a lot of this. Jody did this to her own niece, and she was recommended by bishops in her I believe he knew too. He was there when Ruby took the one son's bed away. Good morning, Polly. Yep, Jason. That little terror. You knew what you were doing when you named him Carl. There were feral chickens and goats on our property when I was a kid. Both were mean. Really? Feral goats and chickens. It's always the little animals that like to start fights. Jason got issues. Jason does got issues. I think it's like the, what do they call that? The fight of the fittest or whatever. You know, it's like whatever one's stronger is the one that's going to come out in the end. A nearby house was abandoned before I was born, and they'd... Aww. Have you watched any of the interviews with Joe? No, I haven't, Ghost. Let me write it down. Did you guys see too that Suzanne Summer passed? That's so sad. She was in her 70s, you guys. Okay, I wrote it down. Um, yeah, she passed what, yesterday? She was in her 70s. That's crazy to me. I believe the dad knew too. He saw. That's what I'm saying. It didn't just get that bad when he left. None of the quail made it but Jason. He's still going. Yeah, he's a bruiser. I don't think he knew it went this far, but I'm sure. Exactly. I totally agree, Glam. I don't think it escalated that much, after he left. He knew some of it. But of course he's going to deny it. My only thing is if he does get the kids, I mean, 6 kids and one single father, that is a lot. Leave poor Jason alone. He's already being labeled. Okay, let me write that down. Jesse. Okay, got it. Thank you. I used to have chickens named after the Golden Girls. They were so cute, but mean as sin. Maybe Nick holds hers and stuff. Like maybe if they, I'm sure there's like hatcheries or whatever, they don't give them like any kind of attention or anything. And I think that's probably like any animal, that's probably why they're mean. They're not used to the interaction. All right. And then I also pulled up this one, which is really good. And while it stinks for like us YouTubers and everything, I think this is the best case scenario for the kids. They have sealed the child welfare case from the public and the media. So a judge has ordered the child welfare case regarding Ruby Franke to be sealed, saying the public and media interest will be detrimental to the best interest of the minor parties involved. She issued her decision Tuesday, nearly 3 weeks after a hearing was held on the matter inside a Provo courtroom. In her decision, Bazell said a member of the press had gained unannounced access to a September 7th hearing in which sensitive information about Franke's children was discussed. At a separate hearing on September 18th, the judge said media representatives took photographs of individuals involved in the case while in the hallway outside of the courtroom, which is prohibited. Extended members of the Franke family will be allowed to attend the hearings, but they will be prohibited from posting anything to social media or sharing what occurred with members of the media. Bazell's decision only pertains to the child welfare case regarding Franke and not the criminal case involving her and her business partner, in which both were charged with 6 counts each of felony child abuse. Okay, so it only pertains to the child welfare case regarding her and not the criminal case. So her criminal case may still be aired. There may still be media allowed in the courtroom for the criminal case. Good. I want to see her go down. Following a 911 call after Franke's 12-year-old emaciated son escaped to a neighbor's Ivan's home with duct tape on his body, police found the boy and his malnourished 10-year-old sister in their mother's house. Both children, along with Franke's other children, have been placed in state custody. Kevin Franke, Ruby's ex-husband, is looking to gain custody of the children. Ugh. You know what? And it seems like, too, she targeted the younger ones more. The youngest of the kids were the ones that were targeted more. Like, they're the ones she withheld food from the most. They're the ones that she didn't allow to have a Christmas. She's vile. She's an evil human. The little chick is already starting. I know. He's tuckered out. The judge made the right decision. Those children have already been through enough that they don't need their details released. Right, Six. And can you imagine, like, school? I mean, like, the town they live in, I'm sure it's, all the buzz. Everybody's talking about it in school. The poor kids, everything they went through, and then on top of it. And they didn't go to public school. So they haven't like had, normal interaction with other children outside of the family. So gross, Annalyn. I don't get, I don't get child abuse in any form, but then I also am baffled by targeting certain ones of your children. Like, hi, Chris. This abuse seems common with it. It does. You're right. Yeah, you see a lot of that of controversy about their ways of, well, discipline is what they call it. What it boils down to most of us with normal consciences is abuse. No, they actually did go to public school. The problem was as they were embarrassed to have friends because of their mom's channel. I don't blame them. My daughter does not tell her kids, her friends, the name of my channel. He's so tired. Look at him. I think when she started working with Jody, she took them out of public school. Yes, Glam is so sick. What mission would God send you on to abuse little children? Sick frick. Okay. So we are going to go to mom. Does anybody know anything about this mom of 8 kids? I believe it's just LDS, Latter-day Saints. I think that's all it is, which, they do. There's been a lot of controversy. Oh, wait. There's the other one. Oh. It's so cute how they're so clumsy and they kind of got to, gain their footing. Hi, Jarella. Good morning. It is bizarre. She had pulled them out of school and kept them away from extended family, and father abandoned them. I can't imagine how isolated they must have felt. Oh, I can't either. Okay, so we're going to start right where like all this drama started. So she's been doing videos for about 6 months. But 2 weeks ago I'm going to play this one. This is the one that she dropped that that everybody was up in arms about and everything, because people were mad that she basically portrayed it like her husband just passed suddenly, like it was just in the last, day or two or whatever, where it had actually been in June. But she just started posting the videos 2 weeks ago. So people are like, accusing her, which I don't know. We'll have to delve more into it until, I totally have an opinion. But I'm like, 3 months is not long. Like I did not understand the uproar over. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Virgo. Ruby's sisters, Elle and Bonnie, both have a case of main character syndrome. I went to school with a girl like that. Her mom would take away her makeup and hair tools and not allow her. Oh my gosh. She would have to go to school this way. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Carlotta. So people, like I said, people were mad because they felt like they were misled, because in the video, she had taken, I think she had taken the video at the time, like when her husband had just passed and stuff, but she didn't post it until 2 weeks ago. So people felt that, she was not honest with them because they were under the impression that he had just died. But I'm kind of like, I don't really understand the hype about that, because 3 months is still really, really freaking new. And depending on, how she was grieving, I mean, she has 8 kids. So she's been a little bit, I'm sure, preoccupied, for the past months or whatever. So I didn't kind of understand that, because I was just like, that's still so, that's 3 months or 4 months or whatever it was. I mean, it's still so, recent. Like, I mean, I don't know. I would be still a mess. But all right, we're going to start with that one. And you guys can decide if you feel it was like misleading or whatever. But I mean, she totally blew up over this too. She now has 8,000 subs. I want to say, like, before that 2 week period, like when she first posted this, I don't think her channel was even on the radar.
This is mom of eight kids. Now I'm a widow with 8 kids. 12 hours ago, my husband suddenly passed in our home, and he was rushed to the hospital, and we have 8 kids together. We were married for 20 years, and he was a lot older than me. He just turned 70 on June 23rd. And so I knew this day would come, but I had been dreading it for 20 years. I have been dreading this day. And so I haven't told the kids yet. Only the older ones know. This is our youngest one right here.
I do find it weird too, for how open she's really open with the fact that she is terrified that they are going to arrest her and charge her with neglect of her husband. And she's so open about it. She talks about, it like a lot, and then I will say it is kind of weird, because now there's talk, like her last video, which we'll see. Her last video talks about how she had to go into the police station for questioning. Well, why is she being taken to the police station for questioning now when he passed in June? So there's like a lot that I think, people are like, well, that doesn't make sense, or that doesn't make sense.
Over a year old, who was born in January last year. My youngest one here, she's 3. She'll be 4. Just a minute. Those are the kids. They don't know I'm recording this. So the reason I'm doing this is because I think it'll help me a lot to have an emotional outlet to deal with this, because we don't have any friends and we don't have any family members, because my family members didn't agree when I married the love of my life, my husband. So I stopped talking to all of them, and it's been like 20 years since I talked to anybody.
Yes,
the older ones know.
Okay,
My
this is
oldest
really
is
weird
20.
too. Now let's pay attention to the whole, how she's handling it with her kids. So she has a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, and then I can't remember, but that's the 3 oldest, 20, 18, and 16, I believe. And the 2 oldest ones knew. The 16-year-old had to come to her and say, why is everybody acting like he's going to be okay? Everything's going to be fine, whatever. And so then she had to tell him the truth that his father had passed. She's not telling any of the kids that he has passed, which I'm sure that has people like, what? Like, she wasn't even going to tell the 16-year-old had he not asked. She was going to keep it from him too.
20. He just turned 20 June 15th. And my second youngest, 18, he was there at the hospital with me. And we said our goodbyes. Although I tried to tell myself that he's not really gone. I tried to tell myself he's in a different place.
Well, I don't know, but here, let me. I didn't want to. You guys know how I get grossed out. But anyways, when I scroll, you will see, like, look at these feet pictures. That, I'm sure, is why she was worried about neglect. And it didn't appear, because I did watch I think I watched this one where they go to Wendy's in a grocery haul. But I didn't get the impression that he was that ill, or that where he couldn't take care of himself, take care of his feet, whatever. He didn't seem like that unhealthy to me, but maybe he was. I don't know.
June 15th. And my second youngest, 18, he was there at the hospital with me. And we said
Good morning,
our
Irma.
goodbyes. Although I tried to tell myself that he's not really gone. I tried to tell myself he's in a different place.
Well,
And
see, I don't know how I feel about it, because she was only 19, I guess, when she, went away with him or whatever. And he obviously is like 20 years older, 30 years older than her, I want to say, because he was 70, she's 40. So he's like 30 years older than her. Yes, her husband's 70 years old. Yeah, that last nerve, that I wasn't going to show it, but I do think that kind of says, like, neglect. Like I said, I was like, I didn't think he was that bad off that she would have had to take care of him, is the thing. She did something police watch for, acting like people might see her as guilty before anyone even said that. I'm not being mean, but I agree. I do agree for what. That's what I was saying. The way she talks about, being fearful of being, charged with neglect or this or that. Like, it's weird the way she talks about it.
I get scared. I don't know how to not have him around. We've been married 20 years, like I said. And I made a list of things to do tomorrow. So it's bank accounts. I gotta sort out some finances at the bank accounts. Prescriptions. My husband was on ODSP, so any prescriptions that my son, my eldest, and I need, which there are 2, we each need 1, I gotta get that filled out before the ODSP coverage ends. Try and get as much of that done, because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't work. And I'm not going to be getting my husband's income anymore. The ODSP coverage and the income and his pension too, because he was 70 years old, so that won't be coming in anymore. I'm going to streamline our bills. I'm going to try and cut out anything that is extra Because,
Well, for what? Like, I don't know, I would assume most public schools have, like, our public school has, like, a grief support group for, for children who have lost a parent and things like that. But her kids can't take, her kids can't get involved in anything like that because they don't even know that he has passed. That just blows my mind. I mean, like I said, the 16-year-old had that 16-year-old not gone to her and asked questions, she never would have told him either. At 16.
I also need to notify the ODSP, which is disability in Canada, in Ontario. Tomorrow, the coroner is going to call me and tell me about it. Oh, that's... Baby, move the... we have to get groceries. And, I just gotta sort out other things here. We're also living in housing right now, thank God, because rent would cost us twice as much, and if we had to go and find a place to rent, nobody would want to rent to a family with so many kids. So
yeah, I wondered that too, Dorella, at 70, I mean, knowing, like, but my husband talks about that stuff all the time. I mean, if he was 70 years old, she's 40, you knew that, chances are he was going to end up going first, and she's a homemaker and a stay-at-home mom. She doesn't have income coming in herself.
Sorry, my baby's
Good morning,
here. He's
Mr.
just playing with some
Happy.
stuff that he shouldn't be playing with. Here, I gotta move that chair to block him. So, that's a little bit of a breakdown right now. I don't know how to tell the younger kids. My little one here, Empress, my daughter, she's okay. She doesn't know what's going on. My baby, our baby, doesn't know what's going on. He's fine. I have a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old and
Are you in Canada too,
a
Ghostface?
16-year-old, and she's my daughter, my 3-year-old. And this little guy here, I just put his hair in an elastic to keep it out of his face. So the idea and the plan is that tomorrow, right now,
Yes,
it's pretty
that's what I
late.
started to say. Thank you, Lisa. That's how I feel. I kind of feel like it. We'll watch at one point. We'll watch like that grocery shopping video. The way their dynamic is and everything. I feel like she was very young. I'm not saying like I feel like he took advantage of her, not just sexually, but I feel like, her mind was young. He was so much older. And so it's almost like a brainwashing. Like pretty much whatever, he says. The grocery shopping video, what I got was like basically she wasn't, to have a mind of her own type thing.
It's about 11 at night. When
Really, Jessica?
18-year-old is awake and my 20-year-old is awake. Empress, you're squishing the baby. That's when I'm going to have to tell our 16-year-old. His name is Adonis. That was my daughter. Bumped the camera again. And he was not doing so well a few years ago. He was on a prescription because he used to get panic attacks, and I'm afraid he's going to have a relapse because he did so well in these last 3 years. He's been at home because of the way things were. I decided to homeschool, So at home, he was able to get off his prescriptions. He had one, and he's been doing so much better, and I don't want him to relapse. We were all very close to him, my husband.
Morning juicer.
And,
Right, her mind is exactly. Her
So-
mind seems very young now, like it was like she was stunted, intelligence wise. I don't know. The whole thing is really bizarre.
I don't know how to tell the others, though. I still have a 12-year-old. The baby's doing that again. I have a 12-year-old because we have 8. We had 8 together. And I kind of feel like
Yeah.
a kid.
Bella, like I
because
said,
don't-
that 16-year-old, had he not come to her, she wouldn't even have told him. And she said, so it kind of makes you wonder, like, the whole family, like how these kids were raised and stuff, because she says that the oldest 2 are the ones that said, yeah, don't tell them, keep it from them or whatever. What? That just blows my mind. You're not going to tell the kids that their father passed.
I don't know how to live now without his guidance, because I was 19 when we got engaged. I was 20 when we got married. And now I have to do everything on my own, but thank God I have our children and our older boys. I think as long as we are there for each other, we don't need any outside help. At the hospital, they offered me counseling, but what are they going to do? I'm just going to talk to them and they're going to say yes, yes, no, whatever they're trained to do. And I think it would be more meaningful talking to our family, our boys, my older boys, and be there for each other. Because, like I said, I don't have any friends. We kept to ourselves. We're very busy in our house.
I would not promote her, getting donations, just because it is such a bizarre thing. Like the whole thing is just bizarre. And you really never know who is scamming and who is, telling you the truth and whatever. So you guys be really, really careful to who you give to online.
Household taking care of our family. And my father passed away. My mom I don't talk to. My sister I don't talk to. And they don't even live nearby. They live far, far away. So does my husband's relatives. And I'm not really close to my husband's relatives anyway.
See, that's what I totally agree, Glam. Age is only a number. I mean, you can take 2 19-year-olds and one is going to, act like a 40-year-old and one is going to act like a 14-year-old, So even at 19, she may have been very young for 19.
So, he hasn't spoken to them in a very long time. He had a falling out with his sister 20 years ago over the death of an uncle, and so he doesn't talk to her.
Right, which makes total sense for what that her family, abandoned her. But I wonder how they abandoned her. You know what I mean? Like, did he take her and leave and not tell them where they were going? And you know what I mean? I just wonder how much the family was really even privy to. They may have, said, if you do this, you're no longer our daughter or whatever. But I also think that would have been said kind of like out of emotion. And like most parents, had she come to them and needed help to get out of that situation, I'm sure that they would have, stepped up and been there for her.
So that's it for now. That's the plan. And like I said, one of the things that hurts so much is how to tell them I've been keeping it in right now. It's been 12 hours. I don't know how
Good morning, Zooflu.
much longer I can keep it in, but I'd like to wait until my two oldest sons get up, so at least we can do it together. And so thank you for watching. I appreciate your support, please, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Oh, she must have put.
He was found in the kitchen on the floor. He wasn't breathing, and I'm trying not to cry. I want to tell you that the kids saw him on the floor. I saw him on the floor. I checked the breathing and I called the ambulance, but it was, the kids think that he's in the hospital and that he's still gonna come back. So they think he's going to come back still. They're okay, the younger ones, and my 16-year-old too. Like I said, the only ones who know is my older two sons. And I hardly ate anything. I'm tired, and we found him. I found him. He was on the floor, like passed out, with vomit coming out of his mouth, and we were all home. We were all home, and his head was turned to the side, and I thought that would be okay because I'd seen this happen before. He takes some of his heavy pills, and I thought it was acid reflux, and so I thought he would sleep it off, but they think that one of...
Yeah, he's trying to get out of there, Carl. Poor thing. He's been trying since last night.
His lungs filled with the vomit, and they think that's what happened, and he was already dead when I saw him on the floor. He was snoring, and I noticed that he was very quiet, so I went to check him out, and I thought he was breathing shallow. And
see, that sounds odd to me too. Like if I don't know, if I find my husband sleeping on the floor, I wake him to tell him to get, in bed, or at least get on the couch or something, She said he was snoring, so she didn't just find him there. She knew he was there if she knew he was snoring.
I tried to wake him up. I couldn't wake him up. I was shaking his arm. I was calling his name, Eugene. And so I knew he wouldn't like me to call an ambulance, but I did anyway, and it was already too late. She told us to do heart compressions until the ambulance came. Ambulance came very fast. They worked on him. They worked on him for about 20 minutes. And then they took him to the hospital, worked on him again for another 3 hours. And they got me to try and talk to him towards the end, but even though they had got a pulse, they had lost it twice. The first time they shocked him back to life because I told them that he has kids and he has a young baby, young children at home, and so his heart was, the pulse was very weak, and each time they got it beating again, it was, that's just one of my kids coming in, one of my little ones, it was just not as strong a heartbeat, and finally it stopped, and They gave him every medicine they could. They couldn't shock him back to life again because his heartbeat, I guess, wasn't strong enough to do that. So I stayed with him for quite a while afterwards. I didn't want to leave him. My 20-year-old eldest was there with me, and he came just right at the end with my 18-year-old to talk to him, but they just made it at the end, but he probably had already suffered brain damage because his heart just wasn't pumping enough blood to the organs and his and his brain, so he would have suffered brain damage. But I would have been okay with him not being the same man as the doctor said. I would have been fine because I would have still had him to talk to and to hold his hand. I would have been fine, you know, but now it's just us, and I have to be very cautious not for any of us to fall down the blame game, because he had already been dead a while. He had stopped breathing for a while when I found him, and I had seen him on the floor earlier, but I thought that he took his prescriptions, his what do you call knockout pills, because the pain gets too bad. If he doesn't take his prescriptions, then he suffers a lot of pain. If he does take them, it makes him feel sick, and seems to also have a cumulative effect after day too. He actually stopped taking his pills for a week up until 3 days ago, and he was fine when he wasn't taking it, but the pain got too much, so he started with some...
I think she did record these at the time that, you know, she claims it is or whatever, but she held them, she waited to post them for months, and that's why, you know, people feel like, you know, she came on here lying.
You know, he had a racing heart, so he had a pill for that, and two others, I think, I can't remember their names, and
that's what this most recent, well, the last two videos, most recent videos, Juicer, are her getting called in to be questioned by the police because the police were tipped off that she had videos before he passed of him. And so, you know, they called her in for questioning about that. And I believe that was like a YouTuber or whatever that tipped him off. I'm not positive, but it sounded like it was somebody, you know, that watched her channel.
Oh, yeah. So when the ambulance drivers came in, I found this. They left this behind.
Look at that one. You guys, that one is so cute. His little masky face.
Here, can you read that? I'm not sure what
I don't know.
For, but
I was weirded out by that.
One of the things that they left behind. And
good morning, Crystal.
It's like a great unknown now. It's unknown getting along without him. And
I mean, you guys, like, you gotta, you know, remember, like, she married him at 19, so I'm sure she left, you know, her family home, moved right in with him, and he was so old, he was a parent figure, so it's kind of like, you know, she's on her own for the first time, and she's got 8 kids on top of it.
Very close we were, a tight-knit family, and so I stayed with him. I held his hand for a very long time. I don't know how long. Until the coroner came, and then my 3-year-old had to go pee. She wasn't with me, but she was there at the hospital because I didn't think that my 16-year-old at home who was babysitting the younger ones. I didn't think that it would go well for my 3-year-old. I think she would probably be complaining she wanted to come the whole time. So
I actually think that's a foodie beauty trick, Juicer. I think that it's so close because she doesn't want to show their house, because that's another thing she acts really fearful of, that the house is such a mess and, you know, the police were in there and stuff.
Going to the next city. They sent him to the next city, and they're going to be doing an autopsy on him. And my husband, he actually had a wish not to. He wanted to be buried intact. In fact, he didn't want to be buried at all. He wanted a mausoleum, but we can't get a mausoleum, and he doesn't want to be buried, and he wanted to have his whole body intact, so he didn't want to be embalmed. But they're going to do an autopsy on him tomorrow, and I'll get a call about that from the coroner when he hears from the doctor doing the autopsy. So,
oh my gosh.
It's been hell. Time seems to go by so slow. And I was told by the nurse that I should probably think about a funeral home, but we're not going to have a funeral. I think that'll just make things worse. I think we've never been to one. We're unfamiliar with it. That would just scare the kids, I think.
That's what I was going to say. Just the fact that they're doing an autopsy, kind of made me think that there's suspicion, because at his age and stuff, you know, you would think that they would write it off to age, or, you know, something that we would normally hear, like, you know, his heart or something. But the fact that they're doing the autopsy, I was kind of like, they must suspect something.
I don't believe we're going to have a funeral, but I think cremation might be the only option. At least then, if we move or something, we can take him with us, because we lived in Ontario, we lived in Saskatchewan. Yeah. We almost moved to BC twice. And so my 19-year-old, he's going to go to his last year of school. He graduated, but he can go one more year, which is kind of like grade 13. So he'll go, and we will try, and I don't know how I'm going to make these next 40 years of my life without him, because we were married 20 years. We were married 20 years, and I'm 40 now. My grandmother lived to be 82, so I've got half of my life now. I have to go without him. And
see, I feel like, because you guys know, I've said it 100 times, I married my high school sweetheart. So I just like her, I went, you know, from my home, like where my mom's house, to my husband's house, you know. So, I mean, I was young as well, but I feel like, I don't know, she seems so young for 40. And I feel like if something, like, I mean, heaven forbid, if something ever happened to my husband, I know that I would know, you know, what to do. Like, I feel like she seems so young. It's like leaving a teenager home alone or something, and in charge of 8 kids at the same time.
Very close relationship, and I wasn't going to ever get married, because I wasn't going to get married. Like, when I knew this day would come, I told him that, and I promised him that, of course, and he would be looking down on me from heaven and guiding us And so we could all be together in heaven again. But now I have to go half of my life, half of my reasonably lifespan without him. And I'm trying to keep busy, because if I don't keep busy, I'll go crazy. Yeah, just a minute. That's my 3-year-old again. So, anyhow, but time has just been going by so slow. I'll try and get some sleep.
I know, and it's so baffling, Six, because she has a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old. So, I mean, it's weird. It's like a kid, literally like a kid raising kids.
Having trouble sleeping. I even had a nightmare. I did get some sleep after we came home from the hospital. Would have been about 11 a.m. He died about 3:30 in the morning. And so I had a nightmare where I was all alone in our home, and I was feeling the same way I feel now, and I was calling his name, Eugene.
Right, Virgo,
Eugene.
like she says, at some point she says that she discussed it with the 2 older kids, and they all decided that it was best to not tell the kids. So that's kind of concerning, because that means that her oldest kids are in that same mindset.
Eugene. And I'm afraid to go to bed now. I don't want to have more nightmares, more dreams like that. Because I won't be able to even break away from it, even in a dream, even in sleeping. I have this emotional pain. I didn't have it when I was at the hospital, but now that I'm at home, I have this terrible emotional pain in my chest. It's not a physical pain. It's emotional. And
Did her little girl say emotional?
I still have the task up ahead. I'm not sure how to tell them. The kids. So, thank you for watching. Any support is greatly appreciated, because, as I said, we only have each other. And so, I don't have anyone else except my kids. So if you stuck with me this long, I greatly appreciate it while I do this outpouring of emotion and grief.
You're crying.
Yes, I'm crying. Anyway,
Yeah.
so they're not sure what the cause was exactly yet. And, if you're not sure, I mean, if you don't know, if they don't know the cause, then, the police officers, they were in the kitchen, and they stayed there the whole time while we were in the hospital, keeping the area forensically, complete, until they heard, and the coroner said that he was going to go send my husband for an autopsy. So the police were in the house. 2
I don't
policemen
even know
were
if,
in the house in our kitchen.
if that family was LDS, but I think the thing is they live in Utah, so there's a lot of that there. So, and some of the things with the family are similar.
While my kids were at home, and later on my eldest and my second eldest joined me at the hospital. So that must have been weird, because we don't usually get visitors. Like I said, we don't have friends, and yeah, okay, where's your popcorn?
Very isolated.
And so then they had to kick us all out when they heard from the coroner that my husband was going to go for an autopsy.
Yeah, I think so too, Juicer.
And they looked through the house. They were looking, it was routine. They said, just in case there's, you know, something suspicious. They went in the rooms. They checked out everything. They asked me if I used drugs. They asked me if he used drugs, like street drugs. They read his notes, his love notes to me. And they just, they didn't just shuffle a lot, but I know they were checking out, you know, the house, see if they can find like the smoking gun or something. But then after an hour, we were able to come back home, and hopefully, yeah, the baby doesn't have a crib. None of our children have slept in a crib since the first one, and he only slept in like twice because it just didn't work. Every time I put him down in the crib, it wouldn't work. So then with the second one, we got a bassinet, and then when he got older, he laid in bed with me, and I breastfeed in bed. So I found that I'd get the most amount of sleep if the baby would sleep with me. I don't do drugs, I don't drink or anything like that. So I know he's there in bed with me. I'm not going to roll over and crush him or...
So this is Mama of 8 channel, and it's been kind of controversial channel for I don't know, about a week or two now. Her husband passed away suddenly, and she's 40, he was 70, and she put out videos like, as you know, like the day after he passed and such, that were recorded in June when he actually passed. But she didn't post these videos till a couple of weeks ago, and didn't tell anybody that, you know, they were previously recorded. So people thought that her husband like had just passed in the last like day or two. But the whole family situation and everything is bizarre.
Or anything like that. So I know he's there. When I sleep, there's a part of me that's aware. I guess it's the same part that keeps you from rolling off a bed. You know that the edge is there. I know he's there. So I hope that I'm not going to have any more trouble, inconveniences from the police or anything. And I'm thinking that they might call, in the US it's called CPS, you know, like the baby police. Where I live, it's called Facts, Families, and Children's Services, because I didn't have the baby in a crib, and we have an unconventional lifestyle and schedule. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were.
Yeah, and it could, yeah, because it kind of baffles me for what, like I said, how forthcoming she is. You know, she makes no secret that she's scared to death that she's going to get in trouble for neglect, and that, you know, she's going to get in trouble like with CPS or whatever for the shape that the house is in. I don't know, it's weird to me. Like I feel like, you know, if you have those worries, a lot of us would just keep those worries to ourselves, you know.
Notified, and I get a knock on the door from them, and we've been through this before. When my years ago, we've been through this before, and they went through it all, and they didn't find any abuse or anything like that, and it was just a stupid reason that anyone can call, and they found nothing.
That green one, Irma, that darn green one. I'm waiting for it to hatch, and it has been trying since like yesterday evening. A little stinker.
Because we were a good family. So this time, if they come and they show up at my door, this time I'm not going to let them in. Before we used to think you had to, but I'm not going to let them in, and I'll have to get a lawyer this time, because we've gone through enough and we don't need this. We're good family. There's no abuse. And hopefully I can then just get on with the arrangements for my husband and they'll leave us alone. So if you stuck with me again this long, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
That one was like 4 in 1. Okay.
It's been 39 hours since my husband suddenly passed away.
Okay, July. Sorry. I said June, I believe. It was July when he passed.
I have 8 kids. My 2 eldest is 20 and 16. And we suddenly lost our dad. Yeah. Now, I did make a video already explaining what happened. You can go back and watch that video. Thank you for clicking on this video because I think that doing this will help me. It's an emotional outlet. So YouTube has become my emotional outlet and what I'm going through, which is the hardest thing I have ever had to go through in my life. But he prepared us. He was always looking after us. So sorry about my voice. And I left the closet open just to stop bumping that. I left the closet open just to get rid of some of the echo. But here's the thing. What we did today, it was our first day since he passed. I made a plan that I talked about in the previous video of things that had to be done right away.
Right, Jarella. No family, no friends. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it was almost like a grooming type situation type deal.
My husband was on ODSP. Stop bumping, okay? Sorry, the kids keep bumping the camera. My husband was on ODSP, and these two, they're too young to understand what's going on. They have no idea what I'm talking about. So we went to the bank account, and I took out as much I could before they started charging me to it. So we do have a bit of savings, but I'm going to be cut off of his ODSP at the end of the month. ODSP is disability. I'm in Canada, so in Ontario, disability, ODSP. It's like Ontario Disability Support Program, I think. So that card was linked to ODSP. It was money that they would give him every month, and I'm going to try and take that out before they cancel it because it was money for him that he had let accumulate over the months. And so we had done groceries. Hang on, I got my list here. We did groceries. I got as much of our prescriptions that I could in advance while it was covered by his ODSP. Because I have no income. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I just get what I get from the government for the children, and and we have a bit of savings. So I don't want to use up our bit of savings. We need that for emergencies. I got a call.
That kind of rubbed me raw, just because there's so many of us that can't afford to even have a savings. So that kind of irritated me. I can't spend our savings. We need that. So you guys give me money.
From the coroner, and he said that he had a very large...
I think it's Crumb's last nerve. Good morning, Grateful
pneumonia
Light.
on the right side of his lungs. Empress, please be quiet. Now, here's the thing. I only got about 6 hours sleep. We went to bed at 3 in the afternoon. And we were all exhausted. We had to do a bunch of errands today. So I woke up and I was really, really missing my husband. And I was thinking earlier this morning, I had some not so great thoughts about, now that I've lost the love of my life.
Yeah.
No. Now that I've lost the love of my life, what do I have to look forward to? I mean, I have our children, and our children are they're going to grow up. And, hang on, baby. And, here, baby, you draw on the floor.
Exactly, Jarella.
But, hang on a second. So, I'm back.
She does have
The
patience,
call
I'll give her
from the
that.
coroner said he had a large pneumonia on the right side of his lung, which is probably because he was lying on the floor for a very long time. As I said in the last video, I couldn't wake him up. He was knocked out. He had taken his heavy pain.
So, if you couldn't wake somebody up, wouldn't that tempt you to call 911? She couldn't wake him up.
Relief pills, and I was waiting for him to sleep it off. So they're not sure what caused it still, so they took some samples and they're going to be doing some tests, and he said he'd call me back in a few weeks, it could be months, with the results. This morning I was thinking some bad thoughts about my peak of my life is over. The best part of my life is over. I'm 40 years old, and I was thinking that I just have to stay alive for another 40 years because my grandmother lived to be 82, and that just seems so long. It seems so long until we'll be back all together again in heaven. Yeah, I'm crying. Yes, I'm crying. I miss him so much. So I woke up missing him a lot.
Eggie, it didn't appear to me, like I did watch videos of hers from before these ones, and he didn't seem like an invalid. He didn't seem like she had to take care of him or anything. So I don't know. That's the only thing, like, where they're she's like so worried she's going to get in trouble for neglect. Now, I think when she says that, I think she means both of the kids and of the husband. But again, like, I didn't think that he was in a condition that really needed her to care for him. But she does say that he called them his knockout pills.
And I don't know what our life is going to be like now. There's an unknown, but I have this weight on my chest.
Good morning, positive vibes.
That's always there. I'm not getting much sleep. I'm not eating much. I have no family or friends that I've been busy with our family. We kept to ourselves. We've been busy raising our family, so we don't have friends, and we moved around, so we don't have any family members. I don't have many family members in Canada. I just had like my mom and my dad, but my dad passed away, and my aunt, and I don't talk to them because they didn't want me to marry my husband 20 years ago. So they were trying to interfere with my marrying him. So even after we were married, they didn't accept it. They were trying to break it up. So I just
I
stopped
would
talking to all of my family. And I don't have his family because I'm not really close to them. He didn't really talk much to them throughout the years. So that's why
See, isolation. He totally isolated her.
I
And the
thought
kids.
YouTube would be a good outlet. And we have each other. We have each other, so I am very proud of my older boys. They've been doing so well. My 18-year-old boy, he's so responsible. And my 20-year-old,
Good morning, Austin.
he's there for me to talk to. One of my biggest concerns is how they are going to manage with this this new drastic change. But anyhow, that's my daughter there, my 3-year-old. She doesn't know what's going on.
None of them
It's really
know
hard.
what's going on.
We were a happy family, and here's the thing. This is why I had to get up out of bed, and I knew I wouldn't be able to get back to sleep because they don't know what exactly caused it. And then they sent him for an autopsy, and I said in the last video that the police were at our house and they were looking through things, you know, trying to find what I called the smoking gun. And there's a detective involved, and she asked me some questions, and the thing is that not now, Empress, or Passion.
Yeah.
What my
Passion.
what really scared me is what if she thinks that it's neglect? We all saw him there on the kitchen floor sleeping. You couldn't wake him up. He was knocked out. He was snoring, and his face was turned to the side, so
The kitchen
any
floor.
fluid that was coming out could drain. And my son,
So not only was he passed out on the floor, but it was the kitchen floor.
is 20 years old. My second oldest is 18 years old. They're adults too. So my concern was she going to charge
Well,
us?
yeah,
Charge
Amy,
me?
that's exactly what I was thinking a little while ago when she was saying an emotional pain or whatever, and the little girl in the background said, I swear she said emotional. Well, that proves right there, you know, she's taking in what she's hearing.
With neglect or manslaughter or something like that. We didn't understand what was going on with him on the
Yes,
floor. We had
there's
seen him.
Passion, there's Empress, Adonis. I can't remember. I think was one other one that I heard that was,
You know, knocked out before with
out
his
there.
pills. He was snoring loudly like he does when he takes his heavy pills. Until he wasn't. He was very quiet, and that's when I called the ambulance. And so is she gonna charge all three of us since we're all legally adult? Is she gonna charge all three of us with manslaughter or neglect? I have a few things in my favor though. One is I was not legally his caretaker. You know, he managed his own pills. He managed his own doctor's appointments. I don't even have a driver's license. My 18-year-old has a driver's license, a full driver's license, so fortunately he can take us to get the groceries and such. The other thing that I have in my favor is the testimonies if she talks to...
Yeah, Shauna, like I said, I mean, if my husband falls asleep on the floor, I wake him and tell him, go to bed, or at least get up on the couch, you know, especially now with it being colder and stuff, because that is how you end up getting pneumonia. So I don't know.
Son and our family, we had a good family. And now it's broken up. And I tried to tell myself, I'm sorry about all the ands, but I'm so nervous. I called. Well, I found the.
She's afraid that they're going to charge her with neglect because he was found on the kitchen floor, and it sounds like she waited too long. It sounds like to me to call for help. As soon as she couldn't wake him up, she should have been calling, you know.
Phone number for in Ontario, it's pro bono, where you can get free legal advice. Sorry, that's free legal advice for people that don't have a lot of money, because I think I need it. The detective, it's up to her what she thinks. If she thinks that, you know, we neglected him, which we did not, but I know the house is dirty. I know the house is messy. My husband has not been able to do much for a long time. And like I said, we don't have friends or family members to come and babysit so we can clean up the house. It's just us. And now it's really just us. So for a long time, he was not able to do, to help out because of his back.
Right, Grateful Life. Good morning, Lilith. Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. She says, you know, and then she says, like, he was snoring. And then he, you know, then she talks about when she found him, which I don't like that she says found him. She didn't find him. She knew where he was. She knew he passed out on the kitchen floor. And it, I don't know, it blows my mind that it was the kitchen. Like, if it had been, you know, the living room floor or the family room or even the dining room, but no, he he was passed out cold on the kitchen floor.
Around the house. He is 70 years old. And
right.
So sweet.
For what?
She's hugging my arm. My 3-year-old. So I also think that because he was on some heavy pain relief, accidents can happen. I don't know if he maybe forgot.
The 16-year-old was watching the younger ones, but she took the 3-year-old with her to the hospital.
Because some of the side effects is forgetfulness. Did he forget that he took his pills and take another batch by accident? Long time ago, like 30 years ago, he did have a history of attempted suicide. That was long before we ever met. Maybe, is the detective going to think that maybe this was some kind of attempted suicide? Is she going to think it's an accident, or is she going to think it's neglect? One of those three. Accident, neglect, or attempted suicide. Personally, I don't think it was attempted suicide, because he wanted to live a long time so that he could see our baby get older. I still have not told the younger kids, because
see, it is, Crystal, that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole thing is bizarre. The way they lived, like I said, I still totally feel like he like groomed her and brainwashed her. Like, it's just, the more you watch of it, the more you see it too.
I spoke about it with my 18-year-old and my 20-year-old. My 20-year-old, he doesn't have much of an opinion, but my 18-year-old said, let them get adjusted to this new lifestyle a bit first. And his idea was not to tell them at all. I don't think that, he doesn't think that they would resent that, and gives them a chance to get a little.
See, right there, that concerns me. The fact that the 20-year-old was like, "Nah, don't tell them that their father." What? Like, I can't even wrap my head around keeping that from your kids.
Adjusted before. Now, my 16-year-old, I told him just tonight as much as I could without telling him all of the story. And I didn't lie. Everything I said was true. So what he knows is that he's in the next city at the hospital, which he is. They told me to contact a funeral home and make arrangements to have him picked up. I hate to make that call. We're trying to figure out what to do with him because he didn't want to be buried. He didn't want to be cremated. He wanted his own mausoleum, which we can't do. So practicality, and he wanted his whole body to be intact, which the coroner assured me that the samples they take are very small, thin slices. So he's basically intact, so that's good. At least he got that. But I'm thinking practicality, we might have to just get him cremated. And my son, my 18-year-old, is like, well, can't we just like tell them for religion reasons? Because my husband did kind of have he was Christian, but he didn't follow a church. He had his own, he followed his own Christianity. And so I told my
Katz
son,
is
Julius, who
behind
was 20,
on the
I
stream.
don't think we can just like keep him in a box in the house, a coffin in the house, because he'll rot. And I think it's against the law too to have a you know.
Can I get this one?
Yeah.
Wait.
The other followed his own Christian. We just like tell them for he's basically intact, so that's good. At least he got that. But I'm thinking practicality, we might have to just
I
get
don't
him
know,
cremated.
Shauna. That's
Supposed to be buried. 20. I still have not told the younger kids because I spoke about it with my 18-year-old and my 20-year-old. My 20-year-old, he doesn't have much of an opinion, but my 18-year-old said, let them get adjusted to this new lifestyle a bit first. And his idea was not to
yeah,
tell
she
them at
does that a
all.
lot, Virgo.
I don't think that, he doesn't think that they would resent that, and gives them a
Would one in the chat if you would resent your mother not telling you that your father passed? Like that is beyond to me. I don't get it.
chance to get a little adjusted before. Now, my 16-year-old, I told him just tonight as much as I could without telling him
Yeah, after this
all
one, Amy, we're going to check.
of the story. And I didn't lie. Everything I said was true. So what he knows is that he's in the next city at the hospital, which he is. They told me to
She wasn't going to tell the 16-year-old Lilith, and I still didn't get far enough back. I want to know what exactly she said to the 16-year-old. But she wasn't going to tell any of them 16 and younger. But she did have a conversation with the 16-year-old. I don't know if she told him that the father was passed or not, or if she just told him that he was, in the hospital.
a long time he was not able to do to help out because of his back.
No,
around the house.
juicer.
He is 70 years old. And you're so sweet. She's hugging my arm. My 3-year-old. So I also think that because
And
he was
again,
some heavy pain.
She's hugging her arm because she clearly sees that she's upset and stuff. She knows, you know what I mean? Like, you can't count on they don't know what's going on.
Relief. Accidents can happen. I don't know if he maybe forgot, because some of the side effects is forgetfulness. Did he forget that he took his pills and take another batch by accident? Long time ago, like 30 years ago, he did have a history of attempted suicide. That was long before we ever met. Maybe, is a detective going to think that maybe this was some kind of attempted suicide? Is she going to think it's an accident, or is she going to think it's neglect? One of those three. Accident, neglect, or attempted suicide. Personally, I don't think it was attempted suicide, because he wanted to live a long time so that he could see our baby get older. I still have not told the younger kids, because
See, Juicer, and how could you not, like, how could you have those thoughts at 40 years old?
I spoke about it with my 18-year-old and my 20-year-old. My 20-year-old, he doesn't have much of an opinion, but my 18-year-old said, let them get adjusted to this new lifestyle a bit first. And his idea was not to tell them at all. I don't think that, he doesn't think that they would resent that, and gives them a chance to get a little adjusted before. Now, my 16-year-old, I told him just tonight as much as I could without
Morning,
telling
Diva.
him all of the story. And I didn't lie. Everything I said was true. So what he knows is that he's in the next city at the hospital, which he is. They told me to contact a funeral home and make arrangements to have him picked up. I hate to make that call.
That's all she said?
We're trying to figure out what to do.
He's in the hospital
with
in
him,
the
because he
next
didn't want
city?
to be buried. He didn't want to be cremated. He wanted his own mausoleum, which you can't do. So, practicality. And he wanted his whole body to be intact, which the coroner assured me that the samples they take are very small, thin slices. So, he's basically intact, so that's good. At least he got that. But I'm thinking practicality, we might have to just get him cremated. And my son, my 18-year-old, is like, well, can't we just like tell them for religion reasons? Because my husband did kind of have he was Christian, but he didn't follow a church. He had his own, he followed his own Christianity.
Okay, so they weren't LDS. I didn't think so. It didn't seem like they were like religious fanatics or anything, but there's definitely similarities to LDS.
And so I told my son, Julius, who was 20, that I don't think we can just like keep him in a box in the house, a coffin in the house, because he'll rot. And I think it's against the law too to have you know.
See, that is so troublesome that these things are, she's 40 years old. How do these things not make sense to her? And she's having these conversations with her 18-year-old saying we can't let him, rot in a box in the house. I think it might be against the law. What?
Get this one?
Yeah. The other thing I have going for me in terms of evidence, which I didn't tell the police or the detective about because I didn't want them to take it the wrong way, is I do have a short video and some pictures that I took of him while he was lying on the floor. And the reason was because I wanted to show him when he woke up what kind of condition he's in. I wanted to show him what these pills do to him, so he's got to try and stay as far from them as possible. So
now I will say, if that was really what she was filming, I do get that, because I've said before, my husband's a recovering alcoholic, and I had done that in the past. Took video of him at his worst so I could say, this is who you are, when you drink. So I do kind of, I get that. That makes sense to me.
can show that, well, we were aware that he was there on the floor, and we just didn't know what was going on. We had been desensitized to this kind of knocking out. So here's my plan for day 2. Day 2 is I go back to the bank, I take out the rest of the money in his ODSP RBC account. I have to call the disability worker and tell her about it, and hopefully she can point me in the right direction now. I got to call pro
I think
bono,
opiates
9
for his
a.m.
back, Lilith.
to get a lawyer's advice. Hopefully she can tell me and settle my nerves. Hopefully she'll put me at ease that it's not likely that I would be charged. And we got to do a bit more groceries. I'm going to check for prescription coverage now for women in my situation that are now single. See, because the pharmacist told me that there might be some kind of coverage now for single moms. And I have to notify the car insurance that my son's now driving, my 18-year-old. Now, we were paying about $1,000, a little over $1,000, because we had a pretty new car for a year, car insurance. Because now my son is going to be driving, that car insurance is going to be going up. So that's why it was very important to eliminate a lot of our unnecessary bills and streamline everything and get it down. Because my husband would pay it once a year to
she's
save.
40, does not drive, but the 18 and 20-year-olds drive. See, that to me is a little weird too. Like, why? Because they're boys? They, got their license was right away. If you're teaching two kids, why you can't teach your wife to drive?
Save money. And we'll have to pay that. I don't know how much it might go up to $2,000. I don't know, but and so that's it for now. That's where things are at.
Oh, good.
If you
For
stayed
what?
with me this long,
Thanks.
sorry about all the ands. I'm sorry if you couldn't hear me too well. I think that this expression is important to help me. Someone's trying to come in. One of the kids. I thank you. I thank you for listening. I thank you for watching. I thank you for any support. And I need people to comment, because everybody has gone through some kind of event where they've lost a family member or a friend, or they know someone, and I would appreciate it so much if you told me how things went, as kind of like a support group, I guess, a support group that's doesn't have to necessarily be going through it right now, but has experience. I need that input. So if you could please, comment at the bottom of the video. Everything is appreciated. If you like the video, or subscribe. I really need that support. So thanks again for watching. I'll be in the next video. I'll be letting you know what's going on as it goes on. Thanks for watching again. Bye. I forgot to say a few things. I really appreciate you, because, as I mentioned, I think this would be good for me going through this rough time.
I know, Juicer. I'm like, how did she raise a 18 and 20-year-old? I mean, I feel like at 18 and 20, I was more mature than this.
I appreciate everybody, every one of you who watches and gives me your feedback, your advice. I appreciate all of it. I forgot to mention what I told my 16-year-old now. So I told him tonight, I told him that his dad, that the doctor at the hospital told me he might not be the same man again, which is true. Because we don't know how long he didn't have, sorry, that's my kids. I don't know, nobody knows.
See, this is so immature too, like trying to get away with lying, you know, which is true. Like telling him he was in a hospital in another town, which is true because his body is still there and stuff like that.
How long he didn't have enough oxygen going to his brain for. I told him that he was in the city next over at the hospital there, which he is. I told him that he's not getting better. And I tried to prepare him by telling him that, we have some savings and we're gonna be there for each other. He can talk to his older brother, Julius, who's 18, Aaron, his oldest brother, 20, and he can talk to me whenever he wants. And I think that's it. But like I said, Julius's viewpoint was to not tell the kids at all. And so I told Adonis, my 16-year-old son, our 16-year-old son, as much as I could. I just stopped to the point where I said that he was not coming home at all. That, and my 10-year-old just asked, can we go see him in the hospital? I said no. My daughter earlier today, when is he coming home? I just told she's 7, that I don't know. Oh yeah, and we got...
You guys, when you're talking about the tattoos and everything, she was just saying the names of the kids, and I was like, Arian, doesn't Arian have... And so I looked it up, and sure enough, it says, in Nazi ideology of or denoting white non-Jewish people, especially those of Northern European origin or descent, typically having blonde hair and blue eyes and regarded as a supposedly superior racial group. So that says it all. They named one of their kids
visit
Arian.
From the Child Protective Services in where I live here. It's called Family and Children's Services, FACS short. And in the US it's called CPS, the baby police or whatever. And so we were gone, fortunately.
Morning,
but they
Janet.
left a box of donuts at the door with a card and his name written on it. And I'm really glad that we were gone when he came, because, like I said, the children don't even know yet. Is that bad? We're trying to ease them in as much as we can. So I said last night to, actually it was early this morning, very early this morning, to Julius, again my 18-year-old son, that I don't know how much longer I can not tell Adonis. He's 16, he's going to figure out some things, he's older. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just tell them all at once, and I'll wait for, sorry, that's my foot. I'm just tense. It's a lot. I'm nervous. My young one's coming in here. Yeah. Okay, just shut the door, please. What? Are you done?
My balloon.
Okay, I'll fix your balloon after, okay?
My balloon blew up.
Okay.
And the highest.
Okay, I'll try and get it right after, okay?
And it has a short thing.
Okay. This is Passion. She was our first girl. Can you close the door, Passion? We had 5 boys in a row up until she came along. And then Empress, who is 3, our second girl. And then our baby, who is over a year old. Now, fax came today, and sorry, I'm shaking my foot again. My husband's idea
Fax is the Canadian version of our CYS or CPS.
that if they ever came, because they had come before, was that he was just going to get a lawyer and tell them they couldn't come in. He was going to get like a lawyer for people with not much income. And he didn't want to deal with them anymore because they came before and they never found anything, and they came a few years before that. And, but here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that when he comes, I'm not going to let him into the house because the kids have been through enough. Because he's going to come in, he's going to look for things, and the kids have been through enough. I'm going to tell him that, and I think I'll talk to him in front of the house, just outside the front door with it closed, because he might be able to point me in the direction of some resources, some extra help. And I don't think he'll come back again because he wrote his name on the card, and he's going to probably expect me to call him back, which I'm not going to. Well, yeah, I don't think I'm going to. So I'm thinking that's our plan. As far as the house being messy and dirty.
So
and
the
baby
plan
not
is
having a
to
crib 'cause
avoid.
He sleeps with me. The police already came in. They saw it all. They checked it all out. And that's what I'm going to tell him. The police saw everything. They checked everything out. They know it all already. There's
I
nothing.
know, he's such a
There's
strong
nothing
little
secret.
thing.
So, again, sorry if it was difficult to understand with my quivering voice. I'm trying to talk clear. And so, again, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Okay, let's... Now seeing that, that one name and stuff. Oh my gosh, I can't with the feet. All right, where can we find Dad?
And it figures, after talking about trying to eat less processed foods with our grocery haul, we go and we get lunch out at a fast food place. I'm splurging today. That's because today's busy. So I can get more done if I don't have to cook. Yeah, we'll get you buckled in, okay? Just a minute.
Okay.
When your family as large as ours, these coupons really help out. It brings it down to about 50-something instead of 70-something dollars.
You're locked in there, Empress. That's good.
Still really expensive though. But it's so good. Okay, good.
Are you coming? Oh,
Oh my goodness, look at him.
Our oldest son, he really helps out a lot. Well, I mean, they all help out, but
The baby loves it. Arian.
yeah, he's kind of like a second dad. We're going to use 2 of these here, 2 single cheeseburger combos, and then they'll want their own kind of kids meals, which we don't have any coupons for the kids meals. You know, one thing that does piss me off a little though, the day that we have all of that smoke in the air, that was Wednesday, right? And yes, we had it in Ontario from Quebec, from the wildfires. The day that we have this horrible air quality outside and you can smell the smoke, and we have to wait outside half an hour
The weather was nice.
with Empress and Victory. And I thought you were coming back after the appointment. So why do we have to wait outside?
Well, I thought you meant come back.
Right there, there's the 14 on his hand. I can't see what this one says.
After we're done. So I came back once Arian was done.
Right, Juicer?
I missed the message appointment after. Like, I don't know what you meant.
Anyway. So yeah, it just Murphy's Law. When we have to wait outside for half an hour,
Yeah.
it's in all of this smoke.
A little chaos because I got the mixed message. I thought you meant after the appointment, not after I dropped Arian off. So it worked out. Well, it worked out for me.
So anyway,
I think I'll do better this time.
well, this time you missed Wendy's altogether. You went to Zares.
Well, coming in the right way, and you got the coupons. You didn't get
Yeah.
the coupons ready.
Well, yeah, I do. They're there. Just get them the value menu.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, I have. I'll need 2 orders. The first order will be two can dine for $14.89. And
Two single cheeseburgers?
yeah, but I'd like one with a double patty. We usually pay extra. And I'd like one without the bun. I can't eat the bun.
Just a moment.
And upsize the fries.
To a large?
Yeah, both might as well upsize both drinks and fries.
And what's the second drink?
Regular Coke. Oh no, cherry vanilla Coke.
Okay.
Now, I think I'm going to go with Happy Meals. I'd like some Happy Meals. I'd like 2 chicken nugget Happy Meals.
Is this the same bill?
Yeah. One with chocolate milk, one with apple juice.
How's the little
Any
guy?
thoughts?
Oh, he's asleep.
Sweet and sour.
There we go. Anything else for this bill?
No, that'll be it.
Go ahead with your second.
Once again, I have the two can dine.
What was the second one? It was 14, and then what was the other number?
Okay.
2 more Happy Meals, chicken nuggets, and
First window, please.
okay. I don't know. It's going to be about $60 or $70. That's why we don't eat out a lot. Big family with 8 kids. You have 10 people. I got to get mine with.
The short. Hold on. The short of him having apnea episodes is him in the recliner with the babies crawling on him. All right, let me see. Ugh. This one.
Mom of 8 kids here. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and our baby is finally asleep on my husband, his dad, and we're watching music on the TV.
This is up in the US, like back then. And
Oh, it's out.
we're enjoying our time, and we'll be going to bed shortly.
Hang on. Is it okay, Nick? Oh, there it goes. It's a light one. Oh, I'm glad it's a light one. It's pumpkin. Really, Diva? See, I knew there was something there.
Pumpkin. Oh. Pumpkin. It's still stuck to the shell some.
Aww. Hi, buddy. How cute. Did you take out the first one, Nick?
Still stuck to the shell some.
Chirilla. I had it on my TV last night as I slept because she had the music on, so it was like really calming music.
Did you take out the first one? Ew. No, he's on the other side.
Oh, good. Well, he's look at that one. It's so light. Oh, was he? They are. I never would have watched anything like this. Like I had I not known Nick, it's not something I would have stopped to watch, and I love it. We are invested now.
It still has like a yolk sac or something connected to its belly.
Huh.
To watch, and I love it. We are invested.
What do you even do? Do you do something for that or what?
It still has like a yolk sac or something connected to its belly.
You'll see him dragging it around.
No, the
It's where he
purple one
didn't
didn't
absorb
have.
it, I don't think. But he's stronger than. No, he'll finish absorbing it. I think he'll be all right because it's still connected to him. You see it sitting on top of the other green egg now where he's leaned over at it? Woo!
You'll see.
Aw, Virgo, that was good.
No, it's where you didn't absorb it.
All right, I'm gonna mute that. We'll check back after we finish with the tattoos. Okay, so there's the 14, but I want to see, is the other number 88? Does anybody know? Because that's the other number when I look it up for prison tattoos and stuff.
I'm happy to have the family we have here.
Subscribe to our channel. Do 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 do. Mom of 8 kids here. Every once in a while, my kids get the crazy idea that they want to pull out the foam mattress out from the bunk bed and put it on the stairs to make a do-it-yourself slide. And they have a lot of fun doing it. It's free. It's readily available. You don't have to go anywhere or drive anywhere to keep them busy and active. They have lots of fun doing it. And yes, they do load up all of the pillows down at the bottom of the slide as a cushy landing zone. And there you have it, a do-it-yourself at-home slide. Try it yourself.
I want to just see the other hand.
Now you look pretty sick.
I feel pretty sick. I got my bag here in case I gotta row up.
88. Yep, it is. It's 14. Okay, let me show you guys what I found. $1488 is a combination of two popular white supremacist numeric symbols. The first symbol is 14, which is shorthand for the 14 words slogan, "We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children." The second is 88, which stands for Heil Hitler, H being the 8th letter of the alphabet. Together, the numbers form a general endorsement of white supremacy and its beliefs. As such, they are ubiquitous within the white supremacist movement as graffiti in graphics and tattoos, even in screen names and email addresses such as Aryan Princess 1488 at hate.net. Some white supremacists will even price racist merchandise such as t-shirts or compact discs for $14.88. The symbol is most commonly written as 1488 or 14\88, but variations such as 14-88 or 8814 are also common. Wow. That's what I wanted. I wanted to see if that was the 88, and it is. Okay. I'm going to Wonder if I can. Look it! They are so stinking cute.
Hold on 1 second. Hello? Hey.
This is why I don't readily give my
I'm
money
watching the
when I hear of stuff like this before heavy research. It seems mean, but no, I totally, especially nowadays, Jarella, on the internet.
Oh shit. It's linking.
What's 44, Amy? Look it, I love that little black and white one with the mask. That one was good. Pumpkin fits that one. Look at him. That one though is. Oh, look at mine. It's perfect for a pumpkin. It's looking up. I love when they look up. Yeah, and see what is odd to me, well, not odd, but it says a lot. Diva, is that she really doesn't talk about like how their household was run and stuff. You know what I mean? That's what I find weird. Good morning, Peggy. Good morning, Arrow. I was just about to end, guys. But look, there's 3 chicks this morning. I think their names are Biggin, Thea, and Pumpkin. This last one, Lilith, this light one that's still real wet, that's Pumpkin. That's the one that was in my green shell, and it just hatched. The other 2 came before that one, and that one was trying since last night. He is a ginger last nerve. I love it.
I don't know.
Okay, guys, I think that's going to be it for me for this morning. I do have Nick's.
You should be able to see it.
Hold on.
The green egg just hatched.
I do have Nick's link pinned to the top of the chat. We've been hanging out in there, like, you know, anytime you want to go in there, like, she's been having this go 24 hours until the eggs are all hatched. So we've been hanging out a lot in there. So her link is pinned to the top. Arrow, are you able to share Carlotta's link, Amy's link? Guys, if you have a channel, put a 1 in the chat so the mods can link you. That couple's son that was in the car was looking like he's biding his time. As soon as he's 18, he's out. He looked almost like frightened. Me too, Jarella. So sick of it. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Like I said, we'll be in Nick's stream on and off throughout the day, and then we will be in Carlotta's when Carlotta is live. We make our rounds. You know how we do. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I will see you next time. Love y'all. Bye.